channel. My name is Leslie, and today I want to review Foundryside by Robert Jackson Bennett. Foundryside is the very first novel in a brand new adult fantasy trilogy which comes out August 21st, and I was sent this arc by Crown Publishing through NetGalley for a free review, so a very big thank you for allowing me to read this book. This story takes place in a world that has industrialized magic, meaning people known as scribers are able to carve codes into objects and give them sentience. For example, if you scribe a door into never opening except for one specific person, you won't be able to open that door, not even by picking it, unless you are said person. But that door will be able to have thoughts, coherent thoughts about the job and the purpose you've given it. I know it's a little weird, but bear with me. And in this world, there are 4 merchant houses that control everything, and if you don't work for one of them, you're basically starving in the street. Our main character is a girl named Sancha who has very unique talents and magical abilities and who basically survives by essentially being a thief. So one day she's hired to steal a very precious object. She doesn't know what it is, nor does she care. The only thing she cares about is getting that very, very large sum of money she's been promised at the end of the job so that she can go see a doctor in the hopes to get rid of these magical abilities that are really ruining her life. So she steals it, barely makes it out alive, and comes to find out that it is a very powerful scribed object that could very well end the world were it to fall into the wrong hands. So now she has become a target. She is being chased and hunted by many people around her city, and she has to figure out what to do with the object and how to survive. And in doing that, she ends up uniting with a group of people, some being part of the very government who made her the way she is and destroyed her life in the past. All to stop an evil from resurfacing. I very much enjoyed this new concept because plots are more and more similar to each other, and sometimes it feels like we're reading the same story over and over again. So I really appreciated this story that introduces a new concept I've never read about before. However, with that being said, and because it is such an abstract concept, sometimes it was a little hard to grasp. I personally feel like the author could have possibly done a more elaborate job at describing with easier, keyword being easier, metaphors and notions of what the objects did, what they looked like. But I do love a fast-paced plot, and even though this was at times a little slow, it was still sufficiently paced for me to keep my interest up. I like the characters very much, even though I didn't relate to them. They were all so likable, and I feel that's so important if you're not going to relate to a character to still like them. And there were quite a few characters. You start with one main character, being Sancha, but progressively through the story you are introduced to new ones who all play key parts. The dialogue was great and actually realistic as to what people would actually say if they were faced with these situations. The writing flowed smoothly, it was a fast read, and there weren't too many descriptions, although, as I said earlier, I wish these objects were described a little further to make it easier to imagine. But as far as the world building, there was just enough description so that it wasn't so overwhelming. But, there's always a but, I found that the twists and turns were oh so predictable. And it bothers me when things are predictable because I never know if that's the author's actual intention or if that is an actual real flaw. But like, I knew who was gonna backstab them as soon as the character is introduced, and there is a question as to who a certain character truly is, and I guessed it before it was actually revealed. And that's part of the reason why I'm a little torn between giving this book a 3.5 or a 4 out of 5 stars. The other reason being that it was a little hard for me to grasp at times. So perhaps if you read sci-fi a lot, then this won't be as hard for you to imagine. All in all, this was a really great first novel in a new trilogy, and I definitely think it's worth picking up just for finally having something new to chew on. That is it for today's review of Foundryside. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. I upload new content every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturdays, and I'll catch you guys in my next one. Bye!